Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea. Welcome back to your Chelsea news. Chelsea beat Burnley 2-0 in the early kickoff, and we're going over Enzo Maresca's post-match comments, where he talks about the plans for Wesley Fofana, Moises Caicedo and Reece James. Not only that, but Andrey Santos puts in a man-of-the-match performance, and Chelsea matched some records. Now, of course, I'll be giving my own thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported, but more importantly, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 15k by the end of the season. You can also use the new YouTube hype feature, which pushes this video out to a bigger audience. Kicking things off, Bobby Vincent has reported what Enzo Maresca said on the win. He said it was a tough game for many reasons. After the break, Burnley away, this type of pitch, we need to manage players. It was a tricky game, but the way the players competed, another clean sheet, they didn't have one important chance in the second half. We deserved to win the game. He then talks about enjoying managing Chelsea at the moment. He says, I'm very happy since I joined the club, not just in this moment. If you lose one game, it's a crisis. If you lose two, it's a huge crisis. We expected a Burnley back five today, but they went to a back four, so we had to change and adapt after 20 minutes. He then talks about spreading the goals around the team, and he says, we work on some patterns for sure. I prefer 5 players at the front to score 10 to 12 goals than have a striker score 40 goals. I like the wingers scoring, giving assists like Jamie today. We work on some patterns to create some chances for attacking players. He then speaks about the confidence in the squad, and he says, we are confident, we are doing well. Today, we could have done many things better, no doubt, but in the end, it was important to win the game. We are confident. Now, this was the type of game that a lot of Chelsea fans, myself included, were very worried about. Early kickoff off the back of an international break, Burnley away, knowing that we've got Barcelona and Arsenal coming up in the next 2 fixtures. This had all the ingredients for Chelsea to fumble. Either draw the game, lose the game. And to be honest, this game was definitely a game of two halves. I think that overall we did deserve to win. I thought like in the first half, we were sleepwalking at times. We were lethargic, we were a bit slow, but we were still dominating in spells. Burnley didn't play a back five. I was even expecting that. A lot of us were. To sit in a low block, play a back five and just soak up the pressure and try and hit us on the transition. Chelsea did incredibly well. There were a lot of changes by Maresca. Another centre-back pairing. We had Chalobah and Tosin together, who were actually today very, very solid. Sanchez was fantastic today. There was a lot of key individual performances that we really need to highlight and talk about. Marc Cucurella for a start. Pedro Neto was incredible today. Andrey Santos, what a player. He arrived today. That was like a standout performance, man of the match display, and he thoroughly deserved it. We'll talk about him specifically in just a little while. But overall, this is a massive 3 points for Chelsea. We went to second in the table just periodically until everyone else started playing their games. But this was huge. Like I said, this is the type of game that Chelsea would fumble, we'd bottle, we'd lose, and you think, oh my God, how are we going to do? Like, how do we do this to ourselves? We shoot ourselves in the foot because we'll turn up against Barca, we'll turn up against Arsenal, and you think, if only we got the 3 points away at Burnley. This is obviously a tough game for Chelsea, and fair play to Burnley. They came out the blocks and they dominated possession for the first sort of, 20-25 minutes, and Chelsea looked very, very shaky. Burnley didn't play a back five, they played a back four, they came onto us, they left space in behind them. And over time, Chelsea got to exploit it. Jamie Gittens was fantastic today. He gets the assist for the first goal, and what a ball into the box that is. And what a finish from Pedro Neto, a diving header across the box. Unbelievable finish. I'm really, really happy with this performance because we weren't playing amazing. This is the type of result where we ground the result out. We end up winning 2-0, but it was 1-0 for up until the 86th minute. And you thought, oh, the substitutes Enzo Maresca made were a bit questionable. Obviously, we saw the game out, so it doesn't really matter too much. But at the time of 1-0, we're thinking, we're inviting Burnley onto us. We're not killing the game off. We're not nullifying the threats. I mean, Burnley didn't have too many chances in the second half, like Maresca said. There was no clear-cut chances, maybe one that they, squandered, if that's the word that you could use for it. But Chelsea end up, sealing the game at 2-0, all down to Marc Guiu, and such a fantastic piece of work from him. The hold-up play, the beating the defender, the having the time and the acknowledgement to cut the ball back for Enzo Fernandez, the box-crashing midfielder under Maresca, to just slot the ball home in the 86th, 87th minute and wrap the game up for Chelsea. And all we had to do was see things out. So when you look at it, overall, you think, yeah, great. It's just a standard 2-0 win. You expect to win these games against clubs like Burnley, who have just newly promoted. But there's so much to it when it comes to Chelsea Football Club. I think Enzo Maresca deserves a lot of praise today because of the way he managed the game. Like I said, a few of the substitutions, I raised my eyebrows. the likes of Badiashile for Reece James at halftime. I'm going to speak about that specifically in a little while. Enzo Maresca had a plan with a few players. We had no Moises Caicedo today. Up until today, Chelsea had not won a game without having Moises Caicedo in the squad under Enzo Maresca. We have now changed that. So I think that there are some really key performances from key players. Enzo Fernandez was fantastic. Marc Cucurella, unbelievable. Pedro Neto worked his socks off. Andrey Santos, man of the match. Mark Guy was fantastic when he came on. Delap had a bit of a hit and miss game, in my opinion. He played about 60 minutes, and I feel like he did some really good things in the game in terms of hold up and link up play, but he also did some really poor things in terms of decision making and pot shots from, when he could just be, playing the ball into easier positions for his teammates. But overall, this is fantastic, and I like what Maresca said about, we had to adapt. The players had to adapt. I've learnt things. I am very happy. I love being the Chelsea manager. If you lose one game, it's a crisis. If you lose two, it's huge. But look, he's basically saying swings and roundabouts. And right now, we are full of confidence. We're winning games. You look at the last, 6 games? We won 5, lost 1. We are so in form right now. And when you look at the performances objectively, you think, how are we second in the league? But when you take a zoom out, you go, we're actually playing very, very well. So Maresca deserves a lot of credit, because normally we would criticise him, if this wasn't to work out, about the decision-making, the rotation. And today, the players definitely deserve the praise, and so do Enzo Maresca. Bobby Vincent then reported what Enzo Maresca said on Liam Delap waiting for his first Premier League goal. He says, be patient. No doubt the goal will arrive. Liam is the type of striker where you as a defender are always worried. There's a picture of Andrey Santos with the Premier League Man of the Match award, and thoroughly deserved. What a player. What a showcase he put on today. He then speaks about the first goal, and he says, the first goal against Wolves, Cuckoo was inside the box when we scored that goal. Today, again, it's part of the game, it's part of the plan. The important thing is that they're all aware. Now, I want to touch on a few things that we just previously spoke about and kind of enhance on them. Liam Delap, I think that his game, a lot of people getting on his back. He's not scored again. People call him a flop, etc. online. And I just don't believe that. I feel like he has just come back from a long injury, and, we're going to have to give him a bit of time. But he did some really good things in this game, as well as some really bad things. I think it was a very average performance. I think Maresca is 100% right. Just be patient. Delap is going to find his feet. This is the type of game where you'd expect Delap to score goals, where he can stretch the play, hold the play up, link up the play well, and if he gets half a chance in and around the box, he's just going to take that and finish it as a natural finisher. Today didn't fall right for him. It felt like he did the right things in terms of the link-up. He had some very good patterns of play where he was involved in that link-up and the hold-up play. But he also had some very poor decision-making in the final third. Pot shots from really far out. Not playing the easy pass to teammates where they were in a better position. And that's going to happen. He's going to be inconsistent. I still have full faith in Liam Delap. I really, really do. And just highlighting on what Enzo Maresca said previously about spreading the goals around the team, I think this is a perfect example. He's not expecting Delap to go out and get 40 goals a season. That would be amazing, don't get me wrong. But he's more than happy to have 3 or 4 players all contributing 10 to 12 goals. And that's exactly what we're seeing in this Chelsea team. The wingers are providing assists. The wingers are scoring goals. The strikers aren't scoring as many as we like them to, but they are still contributing. Guiu comes on and gets an assist. Delap gets involved in a link-up. If we score from that, great. Midfielders are scoring goals. Defenders are scoring goals. Cucurella is involved in the build-up again for another goal. This guy finds himself, he's off the ball running is incredible. And we really have to acknowledge it. Like, sometimes we question it. Why is he in the half-10 spaces? Why is he playing as a 10? Last season, he was banging in goals for fun. This season, he's continuing that, and when it works well, and Chelsea are dominating possession, he's finding himself making these runs where defenders don't know how to mark him. The ball for that first goal, it was Cucurella trying to break the lines. Perfectly timed run, miles onside. Burnley are like, what's going on? Why is the left back up here? Holds the ball up well. A little bit of luck with the ball bobbling around, but gets under control, knocks it back. Boom. We've got a goal out of it. All in that build-up play. Cucurella is fantastic off the ball running. And I think we're now seeing where confidence is high, the results are coming in, a perfect amalgamation of teamwork. Where there isn't just one player banging in loads of goals. There isn't just one player setting up a load of goals. They are genuinely scattered around the team. And it's so nice to see. It's also very different. This isn't like a City that are relying on Haaland to bang in goals every week. This isn't a Liverpool where you're relying on, Szoboszlai to pull out a worldie, or Salah to score or assist a load of goals. Like, we are literally spreading it around. Gittens was fantastic today. Neto was fantastic today. Neto gets on the score sheet. Gittens gets some assists. It's just really nice to see. So I really agree with what Enzo Maresca is saying here. I feel good for the team. I feel good for Maresca because it feels like things are finally clicking into place. And all we need to do now is show some consistency, even semi-consistent of what we've been performing recently. And we are going to be asking some very tough questions going in later to the season about, are we title challengers, are we not? I personally feel like we haven't got the consistency to go 38 games. However, when you take it a game at the time and you look at what we're doing at the moment, we are definitely in and amongst that right now. And if we do continue this across Christmas, there are questions that need to be asked in that sense. We also have to speak about Andrey Santos today. Now, I just want to speak about him specifically in this little section. He was unbelievable today. He did all the dirty work. All the work that you don't particularly get credit for, you don't particularly see. He was everywhere. Interceptions, blocks, tackles, great in possession today. He had big shoes to fill without playing Moises Caicedo, and he filled them today. We know how good Caicedo is. We know how different we play without him in the team. It's the first game that we won under Maresca without Caicedo in the team. It was a bold move from Maresca. We'll speak about that specifically on why he dropped Caicedo, because it does make sense. But for us fans looking at that game going, ooh, we ain't got Moises, this is going to be difficult. Andrey Santos comes in and absolutely balls out. Thoroughly deserved man of the match. And like I said, there was a lot of individual performances today that could quite easily have been up there for man of the match for me. But Santos blew them all out of the water. He was fantastic today. He has arrived at Chelsea. This was the performance that makes us go, that is how good he can really be. Now, we know how good he can be. We know that he's been on that development season. We've shown glimpses in a Chelsea shirt. But today, he ran the show. When things were looking tough for Chelsea, he was everywhere. He was there, blocking everything, intercepting things, driving the ball forward, distributing the ball well, keeping hold of possession in tight areas. He was fantastic and thoroughly deserved man of the match. If he can perform like that, even semi-consistently, we have such a solid midfield. With Santos, Enzo, Caicedo, Asugo when he comes back, Lavia when he stays fit. Honestly, it is an incredible midfield. It's incredibly packed out. And he absolutely deserves all the plaudits today. Did all the dirty work. So fair play to Andrey Santos. If you keep performing like that, my man, it's going to be hard for anyone to take your place in that midfield. Enzo Maresca then speaks specifically on the Reece James sub, and he said it was planned. There was a reason that he played 45 minutes. This had a lot of Chelsea fans asking a lot of questions, myself included. When he come off at half-time, Badiashile came on, I thought, please don't be injured. Please don't be injured. Don't like that. Why has Reece been pulled off? He didn't look like he was injured, didn't look like he was hurt. But then a few minutes later, he comes out of the team tunnel, goes to the bench, smiling and laughing and joking. And we're like, cool. He's okay. He's not injured. It's fine. So it was nice to know after the fact that Maresca was like, look, Reece knew the plan. We had a plan together. He was only going to play 45 minutes. We're going to manage his minutes. Maresca and Reece know we've got Barcelona, we've got Arsenal. We need Reece James for those games. And we know how sort of cautious Maresca is, and Reece James, how self-aware he is of his own body now, of noticing things before they happen, of like, oh, I might not be fully fit, or, I might need to come off and play limited minutes. So fair play. It was just a sigh of relief knowing that when the commentator was like, we've just got confirmation Reece James is not injured. It was just part of the plan. He's only going to play 45 minutes, and Maresca comes and confirms it after the game. We were like, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that Reece James is fit, because, look, if that's part of the game plan, I am more than happy with that. Badiashile had a bit of a shaky half when he came on, I'm not going to lie. And Chalobah obviously moved across to right back. And I think Chalobah was fairly solid today. He got in a few scuffles today, showed his aggression at times as well. Well needed, well deserved. I think he played very well in that centre-back partnership with Tosin today. It's almost like the partnership we're used to seeing. Not this bad form or bad blip that we've seen them in recent games when they played together. But today, they were fantastic. They also deserve their plaudits. We weren't amazing, don't get me wrong, but they dealt with everything eventually. We didn't leak any massive chances. We didn't let Burnley in time and time again. It wasn't defensive errors. It wasn't individual errors. As a unit, they managed to keep a clean sheet, and it's another clean sheet for Chelsea. I think we're second in the league for clean sheets now. I think David Raya's got 7 and Robert Sanchez has got 6 or something like that. Chelsea seem to really be turning a corner defensively. Fabrizio Romano then reported what Enzo Maresca said on Wesley Fofana not being in the squad. He says it's just to manage him and protect him in this moment. Wesley is playing, he is good, he is fit, and we are very happy with that. Again, this was another one where it was like, please don't be injured, because you're getting a good run of form. And again, before the game, it was a very nervy game going into it as fans thinking, this is a big game in terms of we need the points. Let's not fumble it. Another centre-back partnership that isn't Fofana and Chalobah. It's someone else again. No consistency there. Let's hope they play well. Why is Fofana not in the squad? And then during the game, we're going through the motions. We look like we are sleepwalking a little bit at times. We go 1-0 up. Cool. Let's not let Burnley back in this. Reece James comes up at half-time. Please don't be injured. And I think that Chelsea fans, especially over the last few years, myself included, have kind of been programmed to think of the worst, like immediately, like, He's out for 3 months. Great. Not going to see him for a while. Need him right now. But it looks like there is a nailed-down plan for Maresca and these players. And again, Fofana's fit. He's playing well. They're happy with him. Maresca's like, cool, let's just rest you, bro. We've got Barca and Arsenal coming up in a short space of time. You need to be playing those games. So again, very happy with that decision. It looked like it paid off because obviously we get the result. We keep another clean sheet. And like I said, I think Maresca and the players deserve a lot of credit for this man management, especially going into this tough period of games. We're still without Cole Palmer. We're still getting results. He's now out for an even longer period of time, and I feel confident going in against Barca. I feel confident going against Arsenal straight after, because Chelsea seem to step things up to a whole nother level when there are these huge monumental games. We normally struggle against the lower teams, or the less opposition, if you will, especially teams that have recently been promoted or are floating around the relegation zone. So the fact that we managed to get over the hurdle, keep a clean sheet, get another 3 points, and rest Moises Caicedo, Wesley Fofana, Reece James for a half. Esteval didn't play. He looked like he was coming on for the last 5 minutes. We then scored the second. He's then told to sit down. We all wanted to see him play. We really, really did. But all these players now are fully rested for Barcelona on Tuesday. And that is a huge plus. Nizar Canciller has reported that Chelsea won their first league match without Moises Caicedo in the Enzo Maresca era. Bobby Vincent then reported what Enzo Maresca said on no Caicedo, and he said, I won't do it anymore, trust me. Andrey's position is the position he played today. Usually with us, he goes higher up because we have Moy, but we needed to find a solution. He was very good. Also, Jamie Gittens was very good. And Nizar Canciller reported what Enzo Maresca said before the game on Moises Caicedo not starting, and he says, it's nothing to do with Barcelona and Arsenal. The reason he is not in the first 11 is that he came back Thursday night from Ecuador, from the national team, then it was just a light session with us yesterday. And the reason he is not playing is that it is impossible. It's to protect him a little bit. Now, when you put these things together, it makes perfect sense as to why Moises Caicedo wasn't playing. But like I said to you earlier, and like I said throughout this video, it was a nervy game before the game, going into this game for Chelsea fans. Because it was just, there was a lot of circumstances or things happening around it that you kind of go, we're kind of setting this up for a loss. We're setting this up for Chelsea to fumble. No Caicedo, it's an early kickoff, just off the back of an international team. We're not a consistent centre-back partnership. A few changes throughout the squad. This could go horribly wrong. It obviously went very, very well. And like Maresca said, look, no Moises Caicedo, I won't do that again. Santos plays in the 6. He played that role today, but normally he goes forward when we have Moises Caicedo. What a luxury Moises Caicedo is. And this is the first time we've won under Enzo Maresca without Caicedo. This is a huge statement win for a lot of reasons. And a few of you might be thinking, it's just Burnley, we should be sweeping them away. It's all about context and the circumstances surrounding things. Like I previously said, the resting of Moises Caicedo is huge for Barca and Arsenal. The extra rest that Reece James get. Esteval got a full rest as well. This is huge. Wesley Fofana was rested fully. Massive, massive games coming up, and these are huge players that are going to be fully ready to go against Barcelona and to play against Arsenal, obviously if they stay fit and play well. And I feel so confident going in against Barca after seeing the performance that we did today, where we weren't at our best, ground out a 2-0 win, kept a clean sheet, and looked fairly solid, especially in that second half, solid defensively. I feel very, very confident. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below regarding Enzo Maresca's man management and rotation of the likes of Wesley Fofana, Caicedo and Reece James, and even Esteval not getting a sniff. Do you agree with it, or would you have still played those players regardless? Opta Joe had reported 50. Chelsea are just the second team in Premier League history to go 50 consecutive games without a player aged 30 or older in their starting 11 after Aston Villa between September 2012 and January 2024 with 59 youthful. And Squawka have reported that Chelsea have won 3 consecutive Premier League away games without conceding for the first time since November 2021. Squawka also reported that no Chelsea player has provided more assists than Jamie Gittens across all competitions this season, and they've all come in his last 4 starts for the club. 1 against Ajax, 2 against Wolves, none against Qarabag, 1 against Burnley. His assist for Pedro Neto was the first in the Premier League. I am super, super happy that Chelsea's starting to, match or beat these records. First win under Maresca without Caicedo. That's huge. It's a statement. Jamie Gittens and Garnacho, 4 GA in the last 4 games each. I'm super happy with that competition on the left-hand side. I don't care whether you play Gittens. I don't care if you play Garnacho. They're both playing very well, and they're getting output every single time they play, or they're getting more than 1 or whatever. So, it averages out at least 1 a game. That's unbelievable competition on that left-hand side. And a lot of us would probably say that the left-hand side is the weaker of the two, because you've got on the right, you've got the likes of Pedro Neto and Esteval. So when you look at Garnacho coming into more match fitness, being a lot more sharper, having 4 GA in 4 games. You now look at Gittens after today's performance. I thought he was very, very good. Provided such a good ball in for Neto to finish off. It was such a good cross. I think it was very underrated. People overlooked it. Reece James specifically made a point of going to celebrate with Jamie Gittens to prove, That was so good. Please do that more consistently. And he's now got four assists in the last 4 games. Things seem to be really clicking in this Maresca system, especially on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. We are just going through a very, very good period of momentum, confidence, and getting results. All the players seem to be clicking in all the right places. So I'm just hoping that we can continue this for as long as possible, going into this heavily stacked festive period. And like I said earlier, with like matching records or beating records, we made a statement with the first one without Caicedo. We've also matched, going second in terms of 50 consecutive games with players under the age of 30. We will get that record. We're 9 games away, and no one is even close to getting to 30. So it looks like we will have that record. People seem to forget we are the youngest Premier League side this season. We were last season as well. We're still a bunch of kids that are doing incredible things this season so far. And we're not showing any signs of inconsistencies in terms of results recently. When you take a zoom out and you look at all the results, it's a lot of greens. It's a lot of greens, not a lot of reds, and that's just an amazing thing to sort of bask in. So just wanted to highlight these little things at the end and just kind of, reaffirm that we're doing so well right now. We should be enjoying it. We shouldn't be tearing people or players apart, tearing ourselves down. We should be enjoying this as much as we can. And that's the latest Chelsea news. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything that's been reported down below in the comment section. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you're a real one, and I mean that, you're a real one. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail that appears on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.